Hello friends, I'm glad you're here today. Our liver is one of the hardest working organs in the body, yet it stays completely silent even when it's in trouble. Strange as it sounds, the first warnings of serious liver problems don't usually appear in the stomach or chest, but quietly show up in our feet. Surprising, isn't it? Think about it. You walk, you stand, you work every day, and your feet carry you through life. What if they're secretly telling you something your liver cannot say out loud? Ignoring these signals could mean letting minor issues turn into cirrhosis or even cancer before you notice. If you often stay up late, drink regularly, or push your body under stress, you're especially at risk. So, how do you know when your feet are crying out for help? Stay with me and let's look closely at 3 key signs you must not ignore. The liver rarely shows pain directly, but your feet often act as its mirror. Packed with nerves and tiny blood vessels, they reflect hidden changes inside your body. Because they're far from the heart, even small imbalances show up there first, making your feet the earliest warning sign of liver distress. Your feet may seem ordinary, but when the liver is under stress, they often reveal the first visible changes. One of the clearest signals is a spider nevus, also called a spider angioma. Imagine looking down at your foot or ankle and seeing a small red dot with thin lines radiating outward like the legs of a spider. It looks almost as if a tiny red spider has settled on your skin. If you press the center of this dot with your fingertip, you'll notice the red lines fade away and the spot turns pale. The moment you release your finger, the blood quickly flows back and the spider shape reappears. This simple check can be done at home in seconds, and it often shocks people when they see how clearly the pattern responds. The medical reason behind this striking change is directly linked to liver function. A healthy liver processes and inactivates excess estrogen, keeping hormones balanced. But when the liver is damaged by hepatitis, cirrhosis, or chronic inflammation, it can no longer break down estrogen efficiently. The extra estrogen circulating in the blood stimulates tiny blood vessels near the skin's surface, causing them to expand and form these spider-like clusters. While a single spider nevus might not raise alarm, the appearance of several, especially on your feet, ankles, hands, or chest, should never be ignored. These marks are your body's way of signaling that the liver is struggling to maintain hormonal balance. If you notice multiple spider nevi, it is not a cosmetic issue, but a medical warning. Left unchecked, it could point to significant liver damage already underway. That is why spotting spider nevi should lead you to seek a medical evaluation promptly before silent damage progresses into something far more dangerous. After understanding how spider nevi can silently reveal liver distress, let's look at another striking warning sign that often appears on the feet: yellowing of the skin accompanied by persistent itching. Normally healthy soles have a light pink or pale tone, a soft shade that reflects good circulation and balanced liver function. But when trouble begins, this natural glow disappears. Instead, the skin may take on a waxy yellow or even dark yellow hue, looking lifeless and dull, sometimes spreading beyond the feet to the face and body. Along with this discoloration, a constant itch often develops, beginning at the soles and palms before spreading across the skin. The reason behind these changes lies in the liver's ability to handle bilirubin, a yellow pigment created when red blood cells break down. A healthy liver processes bilirubin, mixes it with bile, and removes it from the body through the digestive tract. But when the liver weakens from conditions such as hepatitis, cirrhosis, or cancer, bilirubin builds up in the blood instead of being cleared away. This excess pigment acts like dye, staining the skin and eyes yellow. At the same time, bile salts leak into the bloodstream, embedding themselves in nerve endings beneath the skin. These salts create relentless irritation, causing an itch that ordinary creams or lotions cannot relieve. Many people mistake this for a simple skin problem delaying action until it is too late. But when yellowing and itching appear together, it is a red flag that the liver is no longer keeping up with its vital tasks. Ignoring it could allow silent damage to advance unchecked. That is why noticing these changes should push you to act quickly. A simple blood test for liver function and bilirubin levels combined with an abdominal ultrasound can reveal the truth. The sooner the problem is identified, the greater the chance of preventing severe and irreversible harm. Following the warning of yellow skin and itching, a third signal that your feet may send when the liver is failing is swelling, known medically as edema. Imagine taking off your socks at the end of the day and noticing deep imprints around your ankles, or pressing your finger gently into the skin on your foot, only to see a pit remain for several seconds before slowly rising back. This pitting edema is not just uncomfortable, it is a visible sign of internal imbalance. The main reason behind this swelling lies in the liver's role in producing albumin, a protein that acts like a sponge in the blood, holding fluid inside the vessels. When the liver is damaged and cannot produce enough albumin, fluid leaks out into surrounding tissues, especially in the lower body where gravity pulls it downward. At the same time, advanced liver disease such as cirrhosis creates portal hypertension, a dangerous rise in blood pressure inside the vein that carries blood from the intestines to the liver. This pressure pushes fluid outward into the abdominal cavity and lower limbs, making the swelling worse. At first, many dismiss swollen feet as a minor issue caused by standing too long or by the weather, but when it is persistent, especially with pitting, the risk is far greater. The danger grows if swelling is accompanied by loss of appetite, bloating, constant fatigue, or even bleeding gums and unexplained bruising, all of which signal that the liver's ability to manage blood and clotting is failing. These combined symptoms point to severe, possibly life-threatening damage. Ignoring them allows disease to advance beyond control. If you or someone you know experiences this type of swelling, it is vital to seek medical attention immediately. Only a detailed evaluation can confirm whether the liver is at the root of the problem, and early detection can mean the difference between treatment and irreversible decline. After understanding how swollen feet can reveal serious liver trouble, it's important to realize that not all dangers come from symptoms you can see. Some of the most damaging threats to your liver are hidden in daily habits, and one of the most overlooked is staying up late night after night. Many people treat late nights as harmless, working overtime, scrolling on phones, or socializing until dawn. But the liver follows a natural rhythm, almost like an internal clock. During the deep hours of the night, usually between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., the liver is supposed to carry out its essential maintenance work, detoxifying harmful substances, repairing damaged cells, and restoring balance to your blood. When you repeatedly stay awake during these hours, the liver cannot perform these tasks efficiently. Instead of clearing toxins, it becomes overloaded. Instead of repairing, it continues to struggle, slowly wearing down. Over time, this chronic interruption weakens the liver's ability to regulate metabolism, break down fat, and maintain hormonal balance. People who stay up late often wake up tired, with dull skin, poor appetite, or even unexplained irritability, subtle signs that the liver is no longer keeping pace. The risk grows when late nights are combined with alcohol-heavy meals or stress multiplying the burden. What feels like a productive routine or harmless entertainment may in fact be planting the seeds of fatty liver inflammation or worse, cirrhosis. This habit is especially dangerous because it doesn't feel painful in the moment, so many ignore it until damage is already advanced. If you notice constant fatigue, brain fog, or irregular digestion after months of staying up late, your liver may already be signaling distress. The best step you can take is to respect the body's clock. Aim for consistent early rest, allowing the liver the quiet hours it needs to restore and protect you. Just as staying up late silently wears down the liver's natural rhythm, another hidden danger comes from something people often rely on without thinking: painkillers and antibiotics. These medications may bring quick relief, but every pill you swallow is processed through the liver. Acting as the body's detox factory, the liver must break down and neutralize the chemical ingredients before they can be eliminated. When used in moderation and under medical guidance, this system works efficiently. But when painkillers are taken casually for headaches, muscle aches, or minor discomfort, or when antibiotics are used repeatedly for even small infections, the liver becomes overwhelmed. The chemical byproducts build up inside liver cells, causing inflammation, oxidative stress, and in some cases, direct cell death. Over time, this silent strain can lead to fatty changes, scarring, or even irreversible liver failure. The danger is amplified when people mix multiple drugs, combine them with alcohol, or ignore dosage instructions, thinking that more medicine means faster recovery. In reality, this only accelerates damage. The signs may be subtle at first: nausea, loss of appetite, dark urine, or mild abdominal discomfort. But often, by the time people recognize the connection between their medicine use and their health, the damage has already advanced. This problem is especially common among those with chronic conditions who self-medicate frequently without checking liver function. Ignoring this risk is like forcing the liver to run a marathon every single day without rest. If you notice that you are reaching for pills too often or taking antibiotics without strict medical advice, it's time to pause and reconsider. The safest choice is to use medication only when absolutely necessary. Always follow prescribed doses and give the liver the respect it deserves. Protecting your liver means treating medicine as a powerful tool, not a casual habit. After seeing how hidden habits like late nights and careless medication use can silently harm the liver, we must also face one of the most well-known but still underestimated threats: alcohol. Every sip of beer, wine, or liquor carries ethanol, and nearly 90% of it is processed by the liver. During this process, ethanol is broken down into acetaldehyde, a toxic compound far more damaging than the alcohol itself. Acetaldehyde attacks liver cells, directly inflaming and injuring them while also producing harmful free radicals that accelerate cell death. When alcohol use is occasional and limited, the liver can repair much of the damage. But when drinking becomes regular or excessive, the cycle of damage outpaces repair. Fat begins to accumulate in liver cells, leading to alcoholic fatty liver. Left unchecked, this progresses into alcoholic hepatitis, where inflammation becomes persistent and painful. Over time, repeated injury replaces healthy tissue with scar tissue, and the liver hardens into cirrhosis. At this stage, its ability to filter toxins, regulate blood, and manage hormones collapses. Worst of all, cirrhosis sharply raises the risk of liver cancer, a condition often discovered only when it is too advanced to treat effectively. Many people underestimate this chain of events, thinking a few drinks each day are harmless. But the truth is that even moderate drinking repeated year after year quietly erodes the liver's strength. The damage may remain invisible until the point of no return. That is why the wisest choice for liver health is complete abstinence from alcohol. If social or work situations make drinking unavoidable, the next best step is strict moderation, drinking rarely sparingly and never turning it into a daily habit. Each decision to skip alcohol is a decision to protect your liver's future. Respecting this organ means recognizing that no momentary pleasure is worth the silent destruction alcohol leaves behind. After understanding how alcohol silently poisons the liver, another powerful enemy hides in plain sight on the dinner table: greasy, high-fat foods. The modern diet, filled with fried chicken, French fries, pastries, and sugary drinks, delivers far more fat and calories than the liver can handle. Normally, the liver processes fats and sends them where they are needed, but when intake exceeds capacity, fat begins to pile up inside liver cells. This condition is known as fatty liver disease. At first, it may not cause pain or discomfort, which is why many dismiss it as harmless when doctors mention it during routine checkups. Yet beneath the surface, the fat creates inflammation known as steatohepatitis, which damages cells and starts replacing healthy tissue with scar tissue. Over time, this silent process can follow the same devastating path as alcohol-related liver damage, fibrosis, cirrhosis, and even liver cancer. The danger is made worse by modern eating habits. Many people rely on fast food during busy work days, snack on fried chips at night, or enjoy desserts loaded with sugar. These choices not only add fat to the liver, but also disrupt insulin balance, making weight gain and diabetes more likely, creating a vicious cycle of metabolic stress. The liver becomes the dumping ground for all this excess energy, and eventually it simply breaks down. Protecting the liver means breaking free from this trap. The best approach is to eat light, emphasizing vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins. Cooking methods matter too. Grilling, steaming, or baking should replace deep frying. Replacing animal fats like butter or lard with healthier vegetable oils such as olive or canola oil helps reduce the burden, and cutting back on sugary drinks in favor of water or tea lightens the liver's load immediately. Every meal is a choice, and each healthier choice gives your liver the chance to recover, repair, and keep you strong. After seeing how fatty and fried foods overload the liver, there is yet another threat that often slips through: unnoticed moldy food. In many households, people hate wasting food, so when they spot a little mold on bread, peanuts, corn, or beans, they simply scrape it off and continue eating. But this habit is extremely dangerous because moldy foods can contain aflatoxin, one of the deadliest natural toxins known. To put its power into perspective, aflatoxin is about 68 times more toxic than arsenic, and unlike many harmful substances, it cannot be destroyed by high cooking temperatures. Even boiling or baking at 280 degrees Celsius fails to neutralize it. Once ingested, aflatoxin targets the liver with ruthless efficiency. It binds to DNA in liver cells, causing mutations and chronic injury that over time lead directly to liver cancer. The frightening part is that aflatoxin can cause damage even in extremely small doses, and the effects accumulate silently over years. People who regularly consume contaminated nuts, grains, or beans without realizing it may unknowingly be setting themselves up for irreversible disease. By the time symptoms appear, such as jaundice, abdominal swelling, or unexplained fatigue, the cancer may already be in an advanced stage. This is why experts call aflatoxin one of the most dangerous hidden killers in food. Protecting yourself and your family means developing the discipline to never take chances. If any sign of mold appears on rice, bread, nuts, or beans, the entire portion should be discarded immediately. Do not believe that removing the visible mold or cooking the food will make it safe. By the time you see mold on the surface, the toxins may already have spread invisibly throughout. Saving a few dollars is never worth risking the priceless health of your liver. The smartest choice is simple: when in doubt, throw it out. After learning how moldy foods can quietly seed liver cancer, we must also confront another hidden danger that enters not through toxins, but through parasites. Eating raw or undercooked freshwater fish, shrimp, or snails exposes the body to a deadly invader known as the liver fluke. In many cultures, especially where raw fish salads or lightly cooked seafood are popular, people treat these dishes as delicacies. Yet beneath the surface, these meals may harbor parasites waiting to attack. Once consumed liver fluke larvae hatch in the intestines and migrate into the bile ducts of the liver. There they cling tightly to the bile duct walls, feeding on bile and tissue while laying eggs that perpetuate the cycle. Their lifespan can stretch for decades, during which they inflict constant mechanical damage and inflammation. At first, the infection might be silent, but repeated irritation gradually thickens and scars the bile ducts. Over time, this chronic infection becomes a major risk factor for bile duct cancer, one of the most aggressive and difficult to treat cancers related to liver disease. The tragedy is that many people ignore the risk, convinced that a favorite dish of raw fish or half-cooked shellfish is harmless. But no amount of tradition or taste can outweigh the danger of carrying parasites that slowly destroy the liver and biliary system. Unlike food poisoning, which passes in days, liver fluke infections can persist for years, causing damage every single day. Protecting yourself is simple but non-negotiable. All freshwater seafood must be thoroughly cooked before eating. No shortcuts, no exceptions. High heat is the only reliable way to kill the parasites and make the food safe. Choosing steaming, boiling, or grilling over raw preparation may mean giving up a certain flavor, but it guarantees that you protect your liver from decades of harm. Your health and future are far more valuable than any fleeting taste on your tongue. From swollen feet to the hidden dangers of raw seafood, we have followed a clear path of warning signs and risk factors that all lead back to one vital truth. Your liver is always working for you, yet it rarely cries out when in danger. Instead, it sends subtle messages through your body and your daily life messages that are easy to overlook until it is too late. This is why paying attention to the smallest details can make the difference between protecting your health and facing irreversible harm. The first set of warnings comes from your feet. Spider nevi, those tiny red spider-like marks that fade when pressed, show that your liver is struggling to manage hormones. Yellow skin with relentless itching reveals bilirubin and bile salts building up, signaling that detoxification is failing. Persistent swelling, where a fingerprint leaves a dent on your ankle, reflects deep imbalances in protein production and blood pressure within the liver. These three signs may look harmless on the surface, but they are in fact your body's alarm bells, each one a clear call to investigate liver health before damage advances. The second set of dangers is found in what we choose to eat and drink. Alcohol transformed into the poisonous compound acetaldehyde sets off a chain that runs from fatty liver to hepatitis, cirrhosis, and finally liver cancer. Greasy, high-fat foods overload liver cells until they ignite inflammation, weaving the same destructive path of scarring and decline. Moldy foods carrying aflatoxin, far more toxic than arsenic, silently seed mutations that can lead directly to liver tumors, a threat no cooking method can erase. And raw or undercooked freshwater fish and shellfish bring parasites into the liver's bile ducts, scratching and scarring them for decades, raising the risk of bile duct cancer. These are not distant threats, they are everyday choices that quietly decide the fate of your health. The lesson is simple yet profound. The liver is a silent organ, but silence does not mean safety. By observing the smallest changes in your feet and being mindful of what you put on your plate, you can intercept disease before it takes root. Protecting the liver does not require expensive treatments or complicated rituals. It requires awareness, discipline, and respect for the signals your body gives. Every decision to rest earlier, to skip a drink, to throw away moldy food, to fully cook seafood is an act of defense that strengthens your future. If you agree to start caring for your liver from this very day, let that commitment take shape in your own words. Leave a comment below saying, "I will take care of my liver," not only as a reminder to yourself, but also as a gentle nudge to those you love. Because when it comes to liver health, the smallest choice can carry the greatest weight, and the smallest words can spark the greatest change. Your liver works day and night, quietly filtering toxins, balancing hormones, and keeping your body alive. Yet it rarely speaks until the damage is already serious. That is why we must pay close attention to the subtle signals it sends. From spider-like marks and yellow skin with itching to swollen feet, these are not random changes but urgent warnings. And just as dangerous are the choices we make every day. Alcohol, greasy meals, moldy food, or raw seafood that slowly poison the liver without us realizing it. The truth is, simple, small details decide big outcomes. Caring for your liver is not about fear, but about respect for the organ that protects you in silence. By resting well, eating wisely, and acting quickly when symptoms appear, you give yourself the best chance at a long and healthy life. Now it's your turn. What healthy habits are you committed to keeping for your liver? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this message valuable, give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss more vital health tips. Together, let's spread awareness and protect the health of our families and communities.